Right? Who are you going to call? The Hollywood Reporter called Dan Akroyd. Do you see what I did there? Hilarious, Johnny Mac. Akroyd said, there's enough range in humor where you don't have to go to scatological and you don't have to go pulling any divisive cards to get a laugh. There's so much in the world to comment on and outside the realm of offensiveness. I agree, Dan Akroyd. As a writer, you can go to other areas and have successful creative endeavors. Scatological humor is fun, it's easy laughs, but there's more intelligent writing that can happen if you stay away from the offensive material that should be rightly canceled for its hurtfulness. Well, Dan Akroyd, who can be the subject of an impression today, Dan, that's an area of discussion. Can I do my James Brown imitation? He was one of my best friends. I do his voice pretty good, but maybe I shouldn't anymore. Dan Akroyd, do you catch Saturday Night Live these days? He said, I try to stay up and watch every week. New cast member James Austin Johnson is outstanding. That's the best Biden I've seen. I watch to see where the trends are going in writing and performing. I met Dan Akroyd once. He was pretty cool. I will tell that story a different day because this is a 20-minute episode of Daily Comedy News, but I got a lot more to do. Speaking of Saturday Night Live, Billy Crystal will return to Broadway with the new musical comedy Mr. Saturday Night. He'll play Buddy Young Jr. That's a role he played in the original 1992 movie of the same name. Billy said, creating and portraying the 75-year-old comedian Buddy Young Jr. in the film of Mr. Saturday Night was one of the highlights of my career. 30 years ago, I needed 5 hours of makeup to play him. Now I just show up. See, here I have in my notes, and I just skipped a story because we're getting long, but I wrote here, don't bump. What am I not bumping? Savannah Comedy Review's 12th annual comic battle set for November 13th. I got to do this story now because I already recorded the weekend. WTOC says some up-and-coming comics are ready to bring their A-game to the stage in Savannah. They will face off in the Savannah Comedy Review's 12th annual comic battle. 15 comics will perform their 5-minute sets in front of a live audience and panel of judges. I used to get asked to judge things, and I would always turn it down because I was tired. I had babies, and I couldn't stay out till 1 a.m. But now that I'm hanging out in breweries doing trivia, I'll judge a contest if somebody wants to ask. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at McDRadio, at DCNPod, Facebook group. You guys know how to find me. Not only are there 15 comedians competing up for $1,000 in cash prizes, but it's also an opportunity to advance their careers. Thomas Harris, founder of the Savannah Comedy Review, said it's also their audition. This is a way to bring their originality, bring confidence to the stage presence, and get booked at other clubs. You have casting directors, people who are agents, looking for someone to put in a movie. Do you? Do you really? On Savannah on a Saturday night? Is that where the casting directors and agents are? Yeah. We had somebody before who didn't come in first, second, third, or fourth, but he booked a movie role and got a couple $1,000s. These are up-and-coming comics that you're going to be seeing a lot, and this is their time to shine. So if you're one of those big, high-profile Hollywood agents, get your butt to Savannah, because tomorrow's the comedy battle, 8 o'clock. Tickets are $20, but your industry, they'll probably let you in for free. And let's leave with this from my San Antonio, because it'll put a smile on your face for the weekend. Paul Rodriguez, he's in the new Clifford movie. When he was a kid, his first dog was a black mutt named Beefus who stole his heart. Paul loved Beefus so much that he prayed for him at church as much as he could after the pup was hit by a car and seriously injured. Look, man, do you think I'm going to end the podcast with a dead dog? I'm not that horrible. It'll be okay. Stay with me. Paul Rodriguez said, I kept asking my dad to let me take him to the hospital, but he was like, are you crazy? I don't even have enough money to take you to the hospital. Look, man, I'm definitely not going to end the podcast with a dead dog. I would not do that to you. Luckily, Paul Rodriguez's prayers seemed to work. Beefus lived a long and happy life with little help from his young owner, who made sure his pet was well taken care of. Paul said, I made him a little wheelchair. I took the wheels off this shopping cart. I got him a 2x4 and a pair of underwear and stuck his legs in there. He would drag himself around the house and the yard. That is your comedy news. I didn't realize ending with a dog in a wheelchair. I thought the dog was fine. I got to read these stories more closely. Follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Google Podcasts. Oh, boy. Normal weekend. I did normal episodes all weekend. I'll see you back here tomorrow.